Hello, storytellers. Welcome back to Storytelling Tarot. This is Jeida K Story, and I am so excited that you are with me. Today, we are looking at love notes from your future self. One thing about me, I love time traveling, and tarot is such a great way. I think, not only tarot, but divination in general is such a great way to bend time, to shape and reshape realities by looking at what is possible. And so today I want you to lean in with me. We're going to receive messages from our future selves, living in different timelines and just waiting for us to integrate them and join them where they are. So I'm really excited, and I hope you are too. So if this is your first time at Storytelling Tarot, I am so glad that you are here, that you clicked on this video. If you are interested in readings like this, then I ask you to subscribe and like the video so that you can find more readings just like this. And if you are family, hey boo, I am so glad to have you back with us. We're going to get into this reading. As you can see, we have 3 cards on the table to choose your chapters. We have chapter 1, Gazelle. Chapter 2 is the golden egg, and chapter 3 is the deer. So take your time choosing your chapter. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, whatever you need. Trust your intuitive knowing. And if more than one card is calling to you, then perhaps you have more than one message. And I encourage you to watch as many as you need. So without further ado, let's get into love notes from your future self. Hey, my chapter 1s, welcome to your reading. I am so excited about this. You have chosen Gazelle. So we're going to put this to the side. This is going to be like our crowning card for today's reading. We're going to get to that in a bit, but I want to start with your love notes. So take a deep breath and get ready. Let's see what messages your future self has for you. I'm going to pull 4 cards to start, and then we'll dig in. You're the 9 of Wands, the 8 of Wands. Okay, it's fiery up in here. The Ace of Cups. Let's get one more. And the Wheel of Fortune. Love that. Your future self is saying, hold on, chapter 1. It's about to get real good. It's about to get real good. And you know how I know? We have the 9 of Wands, which is the card that speaks to us about perseverance. It's the card about pushing forward, right? And do you see, even though we kind of travel backwards a little bit with the going from the 9 to the 8, the 9 of Wands shows like a fireplace almost. I'm thinking it's like crackling sounds. I can hear them in my ear. I can hear like the crackling of the kindling of something that's like gaining momentum. And so even though it's going from the 9 to the 8, there's something here about things about to pick up steam for you. It's interesting because even though you have the Ace of Cups, it's water. Cups will be the representing water, but it's also fire in this particular deck. So there's something here about you picking up steam and then knowing that you are not alone, even though you may feel that, right? The 9 of Wands is a card of feeling alone. It's a card of getting to a particular place where things have been difficult. But the 8 of Wands is talking about a progression and a pushing forward, and you're pushing into the Ace of Cups. So that means that there's going to be some connections that are really important coming up for your life. In your life, there's also going to be renewed inspiration for whatever it is that you're working on. And so your future self is saying, like, this is my love note to you. If you keep going, you're going to see how things change for the better. The Wheel of Fortune is here at the end, talking about such change. But it comes after you have already kind of earned some stripes, right, of honor. Bottom of the deck here is the Queen of Wands. And so like that even feels like a crowning for you. That feels like a crowning, like this is your crowning, this is your coronation. It's like you, as the Wheel of Fortune here, you driving your destiny and what is coming up ahead. And so I love this. So right now, this Ace of Cups is like this baptism, this pouring out of spirit and power into you and onto your life. And that is going to be what fuels you forward, right? And I think that that's actually a sneak peek into what is coming for you, the power that's going to be on your head, the power that's going to be upon your life. So there's a temptation here to give up. There's a temptation here to go back. Your future self is saying, please don't. Hold on. Even if you feel like your flames are going out, add more wood to the fire. Build it up again, right? Build it up again. The Eight of Wands is a card of communication, right? So who can you call on? Who are the ones that you can call that will then fill your cup to remind you that you have some places to be, some places to go? You're about to get real busy, chapter 1. Real busy. But I want you to resist the urge to go backward. Press on. Because the change is going to come. Okay. So I want to know now. I want to know where your future self is calling from. They're calling into this reading, right? I want to know where they're calling from. What does life look like wherever they are in the future? Whether they are a week ahead, whether they are 2 months ahead, whether they're 10 years ahead. I want to know what life is looking like for them so you can get a sneak peek of what it's going to look like for you. We have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Wands. And we have the Hanged Man. Oh, I love this, chapter 1. Because someplace in the future, it feels like you get a little tired and a little unsure. And so your future self is saying, with the 6 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, do you see the pattern? 9 into the 8, and then the 6 into the 5. Again, it's like that backtracking a little bit. And so that's why you have that card talking about moving forward. The 9 of Wands is like, even when you feel tired, don't doubt yourself. Keep moving. They want you to know that because someplace in the future, in a different timeline, they are still working through those things. So their love note is, hey, wherever you're watching this video, get it now. The good thing, though, is that they're not in a place where they're stuck, right? But they look like your future self is in a place of still figuring it out and still weighing the options and still being very calculated, right? You see the juxtaposition between the Wheel of Fortune driving ahead versus the hanged person is stagnant, standing still. Yet we've already seen, though, the Queen of Wands showing up as what we can expect. It's the crowning that's coming. Bottom of the deck here is the Justice card. And so this speaks about cycles. And so can you even see the cycles here? Where here, they're saying their love note for you is to break this cycle. Call in the support that you need now, chapter 1, so that you can receive the inspiration to move on, to keep going, to move forward, to be a change maker, to create change in your own life. Because somewhere in the future, the 6 of Pentacles into the 5 speaks about you having enough and then giving it all away. You having the resources or having enough energy and then expending maybe more than you should have. And so then you have to go back to the drawing board. And there's nothing wrong with that. But something here is saying that with the Justice card, that this may be a cycle for you. And so your future self is saying, hey, we want to reach this Queen of Wands. Let's break the cycles that's keeping us stagnant and stuck. Let's move on. right? Let's move on. Let's move forward. So with that in mind, we have here the Gazelle card. And now this card is the card that's going to represent what is necessary for you to reach your goal in the future. My chapter ones. Let's see what advice is necessary for you in this season. And it says, Gazelle, heightened awareness and ability, vulnerable. The gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hypervigilant, and this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your gentle spirit. And so I love that advice for you, chapter 1, because that is what's going to be easeful for you. The Nine of Wands is such defensive energy. It's exactly like the Gazelle card speaks about when you are always on the defense and being hypervigilant and looking around because maybe you've been left on your own to your own devices. And maybe you are the only one trying to keep things afloat. The Eight of Wands can be busyness, right? But the Ace of Cups, that's the energy that your future self is saying that you need. It's that breath of fresh air. That's how your mind can be cleared so that you can move forward, that you can make changes that's going to benefit your life. And I love that your future self is gracious enough to show you like, hey, we can do this. I love that you're still working it out. I love that. That shows your growth and the change. So what are you going to do differently today, my chapter ones, that will begin to put you where you desire to be, living an easeful life, to receive this crown of glory and to move beyond? We see you rising to prominence. Do you see it for yourself? All right, my chapter ones, I hope this was helpful for you. We'll see you in the next reading. Hello, my chapter twos. Welcome to your Love Notes from Your Future Self reading. I am so excited to get into this with you. You have chosen the Golden Egg, which we're going to read. We're going to save that as your crowning card at the end of your reading. I'm going to push that over to the side. We are going to get into the love note messages that they have for you. So we're calling on the wisdom of your, oh, there's one. Calling on the wisdom, your future self. You're the King of Wands. I'm going to get 4 cards. What are the love notes for my chapter 2s? Ooh. That's way too many. I'll take that one, though. The Page of Swords. Okay. Let's get 2 more, please. The 5 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. This is really your time to create, chapter 2. This is really your time to create, to think outside of all of the boxes. And your future self does not want anything to get in the way, especially what I'm hearing, getting in the way of your happiness. What truly makes you happy. The Page of Swords, I really dig it because it reminds me a lot of the 3 of Swords. We have 3 swords on the table. But the Page of Swords, it is the center sword here. It reminds me of like the sword in the stone. Isn't it related to Excalibur? Y'all let me know in the comments. Isn't it like Excalibur's stone or sword or something like that? But that's what the center sword reminds me of. And the swords, they represent communication and mental formations and our words, our thoughts. And so it just really feels like it might be really hard for you to communicate or to get out of your own head. But your future self sees you as the King of Wands. And so they're saying, remember who you are. Remember what you're made of. You are a big deal. Your creativity is not something that is understood by others and therefore cannot be compared to others. But something tells me that you might be trying to fit in, and your future self is saying you need to stand out. You need to free yourself from wanting to be like others, for even wanting to be accepted by others. What is it like for you? What does it mean for you to go after the hard thing, pursue what seems impossible, like trying to pull these swords from the stone? It seems like an impossible feat, but you, as the King of Wands, you can do it, and your future self knows this. And so they're just letting you know now, do this thing. You might not have the acclaim yet. You may not have the people supporting you now, but they're coming. At the bottom of the deck, you have the sun. They're coming. Your harvest is coming. That's a little glimpse into your future. You just have to be comfortable with the way that you create, the way that you move, the way that you lead, the way that you speak, the way that you present yourself, the way that you be, the way that you are. Stand out. Stand out. Okay. So, with that in mind, I would like to know what your future self is doing. From the messages that are coming forth, I would like to know where your future self is, what life is looking like for them, whether they are 2 weeks in the future, 2 months in the future, 2 years in the future, or 10 years in the future. I want to know what life is looking like for them. The Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, the Justice card, and Strength. Oh, I really love that. Because in your future self, what I really appreciate is the beauty of mastery. I'm calling 2024 the year of self-mastery. It doesn't matter when you're watching this reading, though, because 8 is that number that speaks to us about fine-tuning ourselves and new beginnings. What's interesting is, I don't know if this is a misprint, but Justice and the Strength card are 8 in this deck. Now, normally, if Justice is 8, then Strength is 11 and vice versa. But for some reason in this deck, they're both 8. That definitely means something for you, my chapter 2s, because even mistakes can be resonant. And so what I see with this particular 10 of Swords, you see how we talked about the sword that was embedded in this stone? It's almost like in the future, we have a better perspective. It's zoomed out now. So we can see that happening, but you are flying above. We see that you have proper perspective now, that you are soaring above your fears now. And so that's why your future self is saying, you got this. You got this. The Two of Pentacles speaks about a bounty of blessings, almost too much for you to hold. But something tells me that you can hold them, because with the 8 here, momentum and beginnings and dealing with cycles, right? Even with the Justice card here, which I say often speaks of karmic cycles, karmic lessons. Whatever it is you were supposed to learn, we see you mastering that. We see you owning the truth. We see you owning your truth in this future reality. And you are bold and unashamed. You are standing in that King of Wands power. Do you see it? Do you feel the rumblings of that, my chapter 2s? Oh, I love that for you. I want to ask this question. I want to ask, what is it that you are doing now? We're going to ask your future self. What is it that you're doing now that you're underestimating, that's going to help you reach this new reality? right? What is chapter 2 underestimating that's important for the growth? This one here. Relationship. You need people, chapter 2. Don't underestimate connection to yourself, connection to your spirits, connection to your body, connection to others. And I know that we talked about you standing on your own and not waiting around for applause and acclaim, but that does not mean that you don't still need people. Because a lot of times the waiting for applause comes from people that we don't even know, people that don't even know us that well. The Two of Cups is speaking about intimacy. So you need people. You need yourself. You need love. That's key for your development and your growth. That is part of what helps you make it through the night season when there's nobody else. We talk about the Ten of Swords, right? The Ten of Swords is typically a card where someone has swords in their back. Actually, if you look at this card here, we can imagine if this were a body and the Ten of Swords embedded in your skin. We talk about that being that person's end, but we know that even in that card, there's a sun coming up in the horizon, much like this. And we know that it's impossible for someone to get 10 swords out of their back. They need someone else. So your future self is saying you don't need a large crowd, but you do need close partnership. That's people who are in agreement with you, people who will sharpen your iron, right? People who will correct you and people who will comfort you. That's what you're overlooking, and that's what you need. So the final card we're going to look at is the card that you chose at the beginning of this reading, which is the golden egg. And the golden egg is going to tell us how you can integrate and what you need to integrate and to become this, or to integrate the timelines to get to that future you, or to get to your goal that you have for yourself. So let's read it from the book. The golden egg, message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the messages discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga or meditation. I really love that because the Four of Cups can also be a card about meditation. And that was right here in your initial message. I always say it's also a message of prayer as well. So I love that it came back up again. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. Hello, Four of Cups. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced routine or practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. Hello, Two of Cups. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. Ashe. That's powerful, chapter 2. That's exactly what this whole message has been about. It's what you may have been overlooking, but it's actually the key that will get you to that bright and sunny day, to that harvest, to you enjoying your bounty and soaring over your fears, righting wrongs and exhibiting courage and power like you've never known. All right. I hope this message has been helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Hello, my chapter 3s. Welcome to your reading. We are looking at or receiving messages from your future self. So you have chosen the Dear card, which I love. And I'm also curious how many people are coming over here from chapter 1. If you happen to be someone who's cross-watching from chapter 1, I want you to just drop me a comment and say, you caught me. I only say that because the gazelle and the deer are so closely related. And so I figure there may be at least a couple of you who are watching. So if so, I think that's really cool. And I'm glad to have you here. So we're going to get into these messages for you, my chapter 3s. We're going to leave the deer card for the end of the reading as your crowning card. But we're going to start by getting into your messages from your future self. We're going to get 4 cards. For the love knows that one, it was like drawing my eye. The 5 of Pentacles. Let's see. These 2 together. Yeah. The 3 of Cups. Death. And let's get one final card for chapter 3's 4 of Pentacles. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups. Death and 4 of Pentacles. Oh, I really love this for you. Your future self is speaking about you just not having enough of what you need. Not having enough of what you need. And you've been working very, very hard, my chapter 3s, to get things accomplished. But you just need a little oomph. I'm hearing put a little oomph in it. Hey, if you know that song, drop me a comment and tell me who sings that song. Because yeah, that's kind of what it's giving. But I love it because, I see the 3 of Cups. It is a card that speaks about friendship and good times, happy times. It also is a card for me that signals spirit activity. And so this to me represents the ancestors. This to me represents your spirit guides or any other angels that you may be working with as well. And so I love to see the 5 of Pentacles followed by the 3 of Cups because it shows that wherever things have been dry, you're about to be replenished and watered. And so your future self is saying, like, whatever you've been working on your own, like, you're going to need assistance. Don't do this on your own. Why? Because even after you have the spirit activity, it's going to lead you into transformation. And the transformation, what is being transformed is actually going to bring you into a place where things can be a little more stable. And so even though we're going from the 5 to the 4, I don't want you to think about it like in a linear way for this particular spread because it feels like your future self is really wanting for you to be stable, right? To have some stability, to also have a sense of safety and for things to be kind of like dependable. The 4 of Pentacles can speak about your money situations changing. And so a lot of times, I would think that many of us would ask for abundance or many of us would ask for, an overflow. But it seems like I'm saying spirit, but also your future self is like, hey, so the money, the energy, the time, whatever it is that you feel like you don't have enough of right now, you need to be in relationship with your spirits. I love the 3 of Cups with the death card. It really does speak to me of ancestors. You need to be in relationship or in connection with your ancestors to get things accomplished so that things can be stabilized again. And so that to me is the message here. Yeah. I'm hearing, that's why I'm safe. That's why I'm safe. That's why I'm safe. Look, I can keep going, but I'm not a singer, but I will drop. If you know what song that is, drop it in the comments for me. Cause that's what the 4 of Pentacles reminds me of, being safe with yourself, being safe wherever you are. It's like a fortress, right? So that's what your future self is saying to you. Like the love note from them is that they want you to be safe. They don't want you to be running out of energy, feeling like you're running out of time, but back to a place where you can feel safe and secure. So love that for you, my chapter 3s. Let's see then. Oh yeah, hold on. I started shuffling, but this was the card that was at the bottom of the deck, so I want to take it. You had the 10 of Swords. And so this to me is giving a sneak peek into what life is going to look like for you as these things are happening or are beginning to happen in your life, which I love. It's the 10 of Swords. I know people get scared of it, but the 10 of Swords is a card of an ending. So you have 2 cards here talking about endings. So the Ten of Swords, speaking about like the end of a mental battle or a mental crisis, right? It can also be the end of fake and phony relationships. And I say that because we have the Three of Cups here. It could be the end of those things so that you can then become. We see the transformation. We see that things are now as safe, right? We see even a need to like be preserved. So I really love that for you. So I want to know then wherever your future self is calling in from. So whether that's your future self 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, or 2 to 10 years from now, I want to know what life is looking like wherever they are and whatever timeline they're in. The Three of Pentacles. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. It must be some churchy people in this group because I'm feeling very churchy all of a sudden. I do have churchy ancestors, but some of y'all watching, y'all do too. Because it's like, it's really giving, yep, Nine of Swords. Yep, because it looks, listen, it's giving late in the midnight hour, God's gonna turn it around. If you know who sings that, drop it in the comments. I want to see it. Now I got a playlist for this whole reading, but I'm telling you, that's kind of what this is giving. Even before this one here, the Emperor. See, yeah. So what I already love about this spread, we have the Three of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Emperor. What I love is that the Emperor is like overseeing all of this, right? So your future self, first of all, is in power, is in control, has more structure and organization to their life. And so how did they get here? Right? They got here by working with, look, you have the Three of Cups and now you have the Three of Pentacles. This is about building in collaboration with others, right? You see how you started as the Five of Pentacles where you were expending all of this energy. And then you even see how there are like pockets here where there were three, which could have been these Three of Pentacles here, but they've been uprooted. So maybe you, my chapter 3s, had relationships with people where you thought you were building something and now they're not there anymore. But your future self is saying it's going to be replaced. The place where it was barren is going to be replaced with new pentacles. It happens. So if you're like, oh, I don't know about relationships coming in, I don't know about all this stuff happening for me, it's going to happen. It's happening already. These things are already in motion for you, chapter 3. You also do this by facing your fears as you are building and collaborating not only with your ancestors and spirits, but also with people. As you do that, as you find safety in community, right? As you find safety, as you are building, even for those of you who is dealing with money, dealing with your finances and finding order, establishing order, you face those fears. Because maybe you have dealt with betrayal. Maybe they did hurt you. Maybe they did leave you for dead. You face those fears now. But you see how when I sang the song, the Nine of Swords, when that song came up, I started singing late in the midnight hour, God, divine, ancestors, source, they're going to turn it around. It's going to work in your favor. That's what I see here. It's working in your favor. And the Seven of Wands is a card of being on the defense, fighting back, getting over. Come on, bridge over troubled water. Yeah, some of y'all got some churchy spirits in this because my spirits are responding a particular way. You get over it. It doesn't matter how many people down here have pitchforks, who left you, who abandoned you, who neglected you, who used you. It doesn't matter. Because you have already faced what you thought would be the worst and you're still here. And you make it over. You found your peace again in this future timeline. And you are directing it all. When you cross over what has been difficult, when you move through the conflict, at the end of it, you're going to be all right. You're going to be sitting on your own throne. Ashe. So then I want to know this. What are you currently experiencing, my chapter 3? What's happening in your life right now that you are overlooking? Like you might be, you are doing this now. This is something you're doing right now at the time of you watching this, that your future self is saying you are neglecting to realize how important this is. You don't see the full picture. You don't see how this is actually helping you develop and grow. So what is it that you are not second guessing? What's the word that I'm looking for? It's like when you not take it for granted, but we'll go with that. This one here. 7 of Cups. You have options. Things don't have to be the way that they are just because you're used to it. You have dreams and aspirations for yourself, and you deserve to feed those dreams. You deserve to feed those dreams. Bottom of the deck for you is the World. So where you are now is not where you're always going to be, my chapter 3s. Late in the midnight hour, it's going to turn around. It's going to work in your favor. Ashe. So now we're going to look at your Dear card, and the Dear card is going to represent what is necessary to either integrate the timeline so that you can go from here to here, or it's going to be what you need, like the medicine for the moment. So I'm going to read it from the book. And it says, Dear, loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The Dear card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. That's what you need right now. Gentleness and compassion, especially if you felt like you have been left in the cold, especially if you feel like you don't have anyone on your side. Your future self is saying, you need this. You need connection. You need to be watered. Specifically, because we have the 3 of Cups and the Death card, you need your ancestral support. And because this spoke about the mother, it could be that you need to be in connection with your ancestral mothers or ancestors on your maternal side of the family. What's beautiful is that this means it's all about nurturing, right? And we talked about the need for water and nourishment because the change is coming. Things are going to become more stable. You're driving this. So I hope you are ready to step into the beauty of what it means to be receptive. Even after there's been hurt and pain, a change is going to come to you today. Are you ready to receive it? All right, my chapter 3s. I hope this reading has been helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.